All right, I'm going to go ahead and give that official welcome. Hello, thank you for joining us today. Happy Monday, and welcome to the Virtual College Exploration Program for all North and Carolina, or North and South Carolina students, sponsored by the Carolinas Association of Collegiate Registrars and Admissions Officers, also known as CACRAO, as well as StriveScan. So thank you for joining us today. Just a few housekeeping announcements before we go ahead and get started with our presentation. You as a participant are able to use that Q&A button that's located at the bottom of your screen to ask our presenter any questions that you have at any time, and we'll make sure to leave time at the end to answer all questions that you provide. Your camera and microphone are actually off for this session, so while you are able to see us as panelists, as presenters, we are actually not able to see you. So that's why that Q&A button is super, super important. And also, just as a reminder, this is one of many different sessions that are happening as part of this program. So make sure to check out the full schedule of events at CACRAO.org. That is CACRAO.org. And also, this recording will be available also at CACRAO.org, and you'll be able to find that in about a week. And so thank you again for joining us. At this time, I'm actually going to turn it over to our presenter today, who has a really great information session about her institution. So thank you for joining us today.
Hello, let me go ahead and share my screen. And we will do this. Okay, well, welcome everyone. My name is Devaney Hemingway, and I'm one of our assistant directors of admissions here at Queen's University of Charlotte. And I'm so glad that you could join us for today's kind of session for learning more about Queen's. So with Queen's, we are located in Myers Park, which is a subset of Charlotte, North Carolina, which is about 2.5 miles from uptown Charlotte. And one of the cool things about that is that you don't have to sacrifice the small school experience to capitalize on the resources for the big city. With Queen's, you get the best of both worlds. So we have about 42 different majors, numerous minors, and a very diverse student population, with having students from over 35 states, 25 different countries. We have about a 10% international student population, and it's really great to learn from students who are adult undergraduate students as well as those traditional undergraduates. We have about an average classroom size of 16 students. So what does that mean? That means you're faced with the name in the classroom rather than a face in an auditorium room full of people. And that really enables your professors to build those relationships with you, as well as for you to build those relationships with them. And then our total student body is approximately around 2,500 total students, and that does include our graduate school population. So even with that included, it's still a close-knit community where you get to utilize the CS and experiences. And then with our majors, they range from the arts to sciences, humanities, as well as business, communication, healthcare, and education. So one of the programs that we like to highlight is our study abroad opportunities. There are 4 different types of trips that you're able to utilize. And with the study abroad, you're able to do a summer immersion experience. You can do a language immersion, internships, as well as studying abroad for a full semester. For our traditional undergraduate students who are paying that comprehensive tuition rate, we already include the cost of one fully funded trip of study abroad and the cost of your undergraduate tuition. So that really enables you to utilize this experience. The summer trip is usually for those students who are in business or finance majors who want to go and study under the cultural markets of France and England. There's also a really, really great opportunity with a 2-week faculty-led trip, which is the most popular type of trip through our John Belk International Program, or JBIP for short. support. With this program, you're able to go learn about what you're studying in the classroom and then actually go to that place. We've had students who have taken trips to Ireland because their classroom was studying the poetry of James Joyce. There's been trips to South Africa, YAP for our sustainability sciences majors, which is a tiny country off the coast of Micronesia, and then Costa Rica. But the trip I want to highlight today is the Brazil trip, where it actually won an award for one of the most innovative study abroad experiences. A group of our communication students got to go to Rio de Janeiro back in the summer of 2016 to cover the Olympics. They got to interview Olympic athletes as well as the U.S. Olympic women's swim coach, David Marsh. And then we're able to write about this, blog about it. So you can Google Queens in Rio to learn a little bit more about that. And then one of our students actually got to utilize the footage that was captured during that study abroad experience as the focal point for his portfolio, and now works full time for Spherical Media, traveling and more importantly, just doing what he loves. So with that being said, there's a trip for that. You can also study abroad at one of our partner institutions. What you're paying in tuition at Queens that semester will be paid to that institution. So if you can make that work in your schedule, that'd be great. And then we have internship experiences where students will prefer to do a summer internship or a semester internship when they're not at Queens, and that's just a great opportunity for you there. So again, that international experience is paid for Queens. For our adult student population who are paying that per credit hour rate, it's not included in your cost of tuition, but you're more than welcome to participate in this experience. It'll just be an out-of-pocket cost for you. And then we have about over 80% of our students, I think it's 88% the last time I looked, that of students that do study abroad, again, because we incorporate it in that cost of attendance. If at any point you have questions, just go ahead and put those into the presentation, into the box, and I'll get to those. So for our career services office, one of the cool things about Queens is that you are really able to utilize the big city resource. Again, we're about 2 miles from Center City, Charlotte, so that really enables you to access the big city resources. So with that, we are going to require 100% of our students to complete internships. And with those internships, we're not just going to say, hey, go out and find these things on your own. We're really going to pair you with a career advisor who works with students within your major, who can help get you connected to the internship opportunities that would most interest you. We have about 97% of our students who were employed or in graduate school at the time our survey was taken. And then 83% were able to accept a job that was related to their career goal. I look at this slide and realize that Charlotte is one of the 4th fastest growing job markets, according to the Charlotte Chamber of Commerce, among the US. And it's just a really, really unique opportunity. If you ever visited Charlotte, you'll see there's constantly construction happening. So there's always new opportunities coming to the area. With Atrium Health and Juan Carlos, he actually came to Queens as an international student and a soccer player. And he loved, his major was biochemistry. And with Juan Carlos, he really enjoyed like the research focus and things that he had, in addition to being able to, follow his love for soccer with that. So Juan Carlos ended up getting an internship with Atrium Health. And then that internship experience, he was able to put on his graduate school application, where he's currently pursuing his PhD at Clemson University in biochemistry. So very, very exciting things there. You can see some of our students, for those who are interested in, let's say our international studies majors, different things of that nature, or in politics, they have resources that you can go to Capitol Hill. It reminds me of Lindsay Golden, who had a passion for events and got to actually land an internship with the Secretary of State's office with their events kind of department in there. And then with that resume, like with that experience, she actually got to stay with one of her professor's moms, because she, through the connection she was able to build and utilize through that, she was actually stay with the professor's mom for free throughout the duration of her internship. So that way she can make it a reality. And then for our sports management majors, you see we have ESPNU as one of the organizations that our students will do internships with. We also have the Charlotte Hornets, the Carolina Panthers, there's the Charlotte Knights, there's the Charlotte Motor Speedway, which is near the Concordish area, but it's just a really, really great opportunity. And then finance majors usually will intern at Wells Fargo. The opportunities are endless. And then one of the things I love about the Career Services Office is that you don't necessarily have to have an internship that's done within the Charlotte area. Let's say if you have a family friend who owns a business, elsewhere throughout the country, and you wanted to do a internship with them, as long as it's related to the career outcomes and goals that you need to get from this, you're able to do that internship and just get it approved by your career services advisor. Now, with this, we really love that you're going to be helping get prepped to put your best professional foot forward. With this, you're going to be able to get help with interview prep. So if you have issues with filler words such as or like, or you talk with your hands like this, you're able to get feedback on that within your mock interview setting with a Charlotte area professional. And then we have some students who have been able to actually land internships from successfully completing these. You're also getting help for your resume, all of these different things as well. And there's also a networking fair that happens that's called Smoojapalooza every year, where a lot of our students will land their internships there, but it's just more, it helps you to just feel comfortable and put that best foot forward from there. So as far as the student life experience goes at Queens, there's always something going on campus. I know COVID has kind of impacted how campuses are doing student life. We were virtual this past fall semester. The spring semester will be back on campus, so we'll be interested to see how that. But on a normal scale, Queens, we have over 70 clubs and organizations, and I think that that's a really great number. I think the exact number is 73, but when I first started at Queens, there were about 60 clubs and organizations on campus. So that goes to show you that our students are taking that initiative to follow their passions. To start a club on campus, you just need 10 other students and a faculty advisor, and then you're able to be recognized as an organization by the Student Government Association. We are NCAA Division II, so we have 24 athletic teams that range everywhere from rugby to basketball to lacrosse to swimming, which our swimming men's and women's team have won 5 consecutive national championships. They'll be going for their 6th consecutive championship this year after, obviously COVID happened and they couldn't compete in the spring of last year. We do have intramural sports for those who just want to participate for fun, just a very, very unique opportunity with that. We do have some community engagement events. We have our students that are involved in some sort of service learning. I think it was over 90% the last time I looked at the statistic, but that are involved in some sort of community engagement aspect, whether that's deliberative dialogues on campus where you're talking about issues that may have 2 different opposing viewpoints, but you're able to have a collaborative conversation as well as a constructive conversations to hear both sides of the spectrum. We have community engagement events such as our Sedman Week of Service, where we as Queens are going out and serving the community around us as well as a community at large. We also have support for our spiritual communities. We have a rabbi on campus, we have a chaplain, we have a mom, and we also have a support system for those who are non-believers as well. So it's just a really great opportunity to know that you'll be cared for not only in a social aspect, but also from a spiritual and personal level as well. And then we also do have Greek life. We have Panhellenic organizations as well as National Panhellenic organizations, in addition to some different IFC male fraternities on campus. So the possibilities are truly and completely endless with that. So you probably are wondering, do we have any transfer students that actually participate in any of these? And below you'll see Alvin. Alvin actually came to Queens as a transfer student from Central Piedmont Community College, which is the local one here in the Charlotte area. And Alvin his journey started at Central Piedmont as an international student. He's actually from a small country in Africa, and he's the firstborn of 12 of siblings, of 12 children. And he came to the United States after having the conversation with his family and then making that difficult decision to go ahead and further his education here in the US. So Alvin had the great opportunity to come to here. He quickly mastered the language of English, was able to earn his associate's degree, and was also super heavily involved on campus at Central Piedmont. So with that, he served as president of the Student Government Association. He was a part of the business club there. He was a part of the International Student Club, all of that good stuff. So towards the end of his associate's degree completion, Alvin sought out the advice of then Central Piedmont's president, who's also an alumnus of Queens, and said, hey, I need to know kind of where should I go? I don't necessarily want a big school environment. Where would you recommend we look? So Alvin was encouraged to look at Queens. He instantly fell in love with it when he got it. And then Alvin was able to make that seamless transition over to Queens, where he was able to land an internship opportunity where you see him pictured in front of with global powerhouse Siemens, which is a business here in the Charlotte area. He was able to also be a part of the Student Government Association at Queens. He's a part of the Queens Equestrian Club. He was a part of the International Student Club, as well as numerous other things. And then Alvin is actually finishing up his master's degree in public policy at Georgetown. So very, very unique opportunity with that. And Alvin isn't the only transfer student that will participate in these. It makes me think of Lauren Dion Scott, who's also a transfer student who got to land an amazing internship where she's doing a rotation with 10 different companies over the course of about 10 weeks, where she's getting to get that experience and really market that on a resume afterwards as it's related to her career goal. So one of the things I wanted to talk to you about, so as a North Carolina student, we have already, if you're at a North Carolina community college, if you are out of state, just get with your admissions counselor, which I'll show you how to do that a little bit later. But I just wanted to kind of touch on what these articulation agreements, they're also known as transfer guides, but with this, it tells you what to take at the North Carolina Community College on the left-hand side, and then what it will transfer as here to Queens. We have them up for about 30-ish majors. So if you don't see one for your major, just let us know. I will let you know for music and music therapy, they're just encouraging you to go ahead and to complete the AFA degree that you would take at the local community college, and then you would start into our program, specific things there, but we can definitely get you connected with a professor. I think this is just a great way to make sure you're staying on track with being able to transfer. We hope to Queens, but wherever you decide to go, it helps you to be able to transfer directly into the major if there's not a separate application process or audition process for that. All right, so just wanted to talk to you a little bit about the application process. You can apply today. We have our applications for the spring, summer, and fall 2021 semesters that are already open. You can apply for free either through the Transfer Common app or through our Queens website. We don't have a preference which one, whichever you decide to do. Within that application, we are going to do a holistic review process of you. So it's going to be not only considering of the information that you actually provide us on your application, such as your job. Make sure that you let us know if you're involved in any clubs and organizations, if you have a full-time work commitment, or if you're doing a work-life balance with your family. And we encourage you to put all of these things on here so that way we are able to kind of view you as a whole person. We're also going to be looking at your application essay. I know you as transfer students probably have so many different projects and things that you're doing. So we just encourage you to make sure you are aware that you will need to write an application essay. There's one of 7 prompts that you'll choose from, and you can kind of write it whatever way you see fit from there. We do have merit scholarship consideration within the application review process for all of our traditional undergraduate students. I'll get to the adult students and how that works in just a second. But with the merit scholarship consideration, it'll range anywhere from $9,000 to $13,000 on the transfer student side. And again, that's dependent upon that holistic review process. And you'll find out if you were awarded one within your acceptance letter. For our adult students, you're awarded those scholarships through financial aid's office specifically. So you'll see that on your package if you were awarded one. So it will not be in your acceptance letter because it's based off of the number of credit hours that you register for. Financial aid is available regardless of your documentation status. We get this a lot from international students to DACA students to domestic students alike. We don't care what your documentation status is. We are just going to, consider you for those merit-based scholarships if you have earned them. So I'll stop and pause here for any questions that we may have right now. You can go ahead and put those in the chat. If you don't have any questions or while you're typing those in, I'll go ahead and talk to you a little bit about our events that we have coming up at Queens. So some of the different ones that we wanted to highlight are Discover Queens events, which are our open houses. So with the Discover Queens, it's a virtual event that we're doing this semester on November 7th and the 21st. You can register for those on our website. You'll get to hear from professors and current students and get a glimpse of some of the different offices on campus about how we support our students. We are also offering our daily campus visits, which are in a virtual and in-person format. If you do visit in person, you'll have to wear a mask. They are capped at about 20 students right now, or 20 people total, should I say. And then they're offered Monday through Saturday. Our Saturday visit is every other Saturday, and then there's a virtual one for the other Saturday that's not in person. So just a great opportunity there. And then we do have those who are interested in our upper division nursing program. Know that there's some nursing specific information sessions that we encourage you to register for. Our first one is going to be on December 2nd. It'll be right before our application for the fall semester, as well as the summer semester opens for the upper division nursing program on the 7th. So you can register for those as well on our visit tab. Now, each of you is going to be assigned a specific counselor. So if you are a Mecklenburg County student, let's say your most recent college or university was in Mecklenburg County or in the Triad, North Carolina area, or if you're studying on an F1 visa, I will be your admissions counselor and I will be here to help you. Each of you will be assigned a specific admissions counselor based off of where your most recent school is. So you can find your counselor at queens.edu. Just click on our freshman transfer page, and then the drop down menu, just select meet the admissions team to figure out who your admissions counselor will be. But or feel free to just contact our admissions office in particular. Alrighty, so I am not seeing any questions come in the Q&A chat. So I am going to go ahead and turn it over to our facilitator for the event so she can close this out. If at any point in time you have any questions, feel free to just reach out to our admissions office at admissions@queens.edu or 704-337-2212.
Thank you so much. That was a super informative presentation. I know I learned a lot about Queen's University, so thank you for that. And to our participants today, thank you for joining us. I'm going to quickly share my screen just to provide y'all with some closing announcements. So thank y'all again for joining us today, and I hope that y'all learned a lot and are excited about this next part of your transfer journey. When you close out this window, you'll actually see that there's a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any help that y'all or any feedback that y'all are able to provide to us. And again, this is just one of many sessions that will be a part of this week as well as next week. And you can check out the full schedule of events at CACRAO.org. That is CACRAO.org. And finally, a recording will be available for this session and all of our sessions also at CACRAO.org. So thank y'all so much. Happy Monday, and I hope that y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks for joining.